さすが絵だポッドキャスト Hello and welcome to Sasuke Ada's monthly podcast where I answer questions, provide a space for you to share your creativity, and let you guys in on what I'm working on this month. You can submit Q&A questions, your headcanons, and any additional messages to me via email or fill out the headcanon submission Google spreadsheet linked in the description. Please read the instructions regarding the template of the email and spreadsheet. If you have any further questions, you can click on my January podcast linked in the description as well and go to the end where I walk you through on how to submit your headcanon and questions. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into business. 皆さんのマイ設定シェアリングタイム So I actually didn't get a lot of submissions this month, which is fine because this is really just a space to share your creativity. Like, it doesn't really matter how much or how little of there are of you guys. So, and it, honestly, if you like submitted last month, it's honestly cool, you know, keep submitting. As long as you have things, this is a space for you guys. So let's get started. So our first submission is from Claire. Hi Claire, and Claire is submitting something for Naruto, for Kakashi, and honestly I really love Kakashi too, so I'm excited for this one. The headcanon is, I feel like Kakashi is the kind of person who would not be very expressive with his emotions, so if he would ever open up to you, like if he ever tells you what happened in his day, even a little after 3 hours of begging, of course, either means he really trusts you and doesn't mind opening up to you about personal stuff, or he just wants you to shut the fuck up but like doesn't want to hurt you. I think you're really right about that. Like like Kakashi, I feel like is a very mysterious person when when you're not very exactly close to him. I think he would definitely hide a lot of like his inner feelings from you and kind of just like show like a facade and, you know, probably even like use a fake smile to really just hide what's inside. But once he trusts you, I think he'll be pretty open about kind of like just like things that are going on inside him, like little insecurities, things he's worried about. But usually those kind of things you would probably have to pry out of him. Like he wouldn't like kind of just like go out of his way to tell you, you know. And he's not the kind of guy who would just come home and be like, oh yeah, so this happened in my day today and this guy was like super annoying. No, I don't think he's that kind of guy. So you're actually I really agree with you on this one. Also I don't think he'll be mad if you know, want to like ask him about his day, you know, even if it's like a lot of begging. I don't think he'll be like shut the fuck up, you know, or anything like that. But I feel like, you know, he would probably not be very eager to tell you about like the negative stuff going on inside him. But he would eventually, you know, because he doesn't want to lie to you. That's like, there are things that he doesn't want to tell you, just mainly because he doesn't want to bring that negativity into your life, but he's not the type of person who would lie to you. Alright, and then your question from Claire is, who do you ship Kakashi with? Oh, Guy, of course. Guy Sensei and Kakashi. Like, honestly, in the beginning of Naruto, I never really like thought about shipping people because I was still young back then, and like that just wasn't really a concept that I knew of. Like, shipping became a thing, I feel like, towards like middle high school-ish, you know, when that kind of like concept got introduced to me through excess amount of internet. In the beginning, I didn't really think about shipping much, but then like later on, as I got older, and you know, as I continued to follow Naruto in his journey, and then, you know, in Shippuden, when you saw, like, this was like after the pain flattened their village, and you know how it was like during that arc where people were like rebuilding the village, and then there was they were like, that was before like Danzo kind of like took the spot of Hokage like forcefully. They were like talking about how Kakashi was gonna be Hokage, and then Guy and Kakashi had that little friendly competition of theirs again. You know, that scene, like, it sold me. It was like, at that point I was like, you know what, Guy sensei and Kakashi sensei, you know, they just have to grow old together. Like, I don't even need them to be like a couple, but they just have to like grow old together. It's a total ship for me, because like I just feel like their dynamic together is just way too good. It's like golden, you know. Some people ship Kakashi with like Obito, and there's definitely that Naruto Sasuke tension going on between Kakashi and Obito, but that's like high school. That's like a, you know, that feels like high school crushes, right? That's what it feels like. But Kakashi and Guy just feels like a married couple. So yeah, that's who I ship Kakashi with. And then I have a message from you. So the message is, I got one. Oh, yeah, I got one now. I just wanted to tell you, not that you haven't heard of this before, that you are amazing. Like, I don't know how you even think about these headcanons. Oh, thank you. Honestly, I don't even know how I think about these headcanons. Some of them just like come to me. Cause you know how I write fanfiction, so like sometimes I would think of like little situations in my head, and honestly these little situations are just kind of like headcanons, because it would be putting a character into a situation and then thinking about how they react to that situation, and that's essentially what a headcanon is. So as a fanfiction writer, I feel like anything you come up with can be considered a headcanon. So yeah, I mean, like, just keep writing, like think about random situations, and then think about how your character would react, and then that's a headcanon. So yeah. And then next submission is from Felicia. Hi Felicia, and Felicia is submitting for BNHA Hawks. Honestly, I never get tired of like Hawks submissions, because Hawks is so hot. Okay, so the headcanon. If you were ever mad or angry at him, he would make you his share of chicken nuggets because he already ate yours. Oh no! This would be like your breakfast in bed. He would like intensely stare at you while you are eating until you feed, or at least offer him some. If you don't, he will guilt you into giving him some nuggets by like saying how sorry he was, and like how he was feeling so bad that he made the nuggets from his share. If that doesn't work either, he'll just open his mouth and just stare at you with his face like 5 millimeters away from the plate. Oh my god, that just sounds like Hawks. Oh god. Like, Hawks is such a big baby material. It's just like, I can totally see him like just staring at you with those big puppy dog eyes, and oh wow. I feel like, because you know, I own a dog and a cat, right? And like whenever they're just like staring at me, I feel like it's so hard to like deny them anything, especially my dog. Like her eyes, like, it's like, I try not to look at her, but like even if I try not to look at her, it's like I know she's there, and it's so hard to, you know, ignore her. And I feel like that's the same energy you get from Hawks. It's just like, just him being there, it's so hard to ignore him, and it's so hard to stay mad at him, because, you know, how can you stay mad at Hawks? Alright, your question: if Hawks did this to you, what would you do, and how would you react? Honestly, what does it take for me to get mad at Hawks? I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm not someone who easily gets mad. At least not over like trivial things. So honestly, if he ate my nuggets, like, I honestly wouldn't care. I would just probably buy more. It's like, you want more? Let's go get more. But if I really did get mad, I feel like as long as he makes me food, you know, everything can go out the window. Like, food just cheers me up. Like, get me French fries, like not just like any French fries, McDonald's fries. Like, if he buys me McDonald's fries, I will forgive him immediately. Like, no word said. Like, no word needs to be said. Like, he doesn't even need to say sorry. All he has to do is put like a bag of like mixed McDonald's fries in front of me and be like, okay, all's forgiven. and of course I would share my food with him, because sharing food is my love language. So another question from you is also, I wanted to ask, who is your all-time favorite anime character? Like, I know you like Bakugo, but still wanted to ask. I'm pretty sure my all-time is Bakugo right now. Mainly because, like, there just hasn't been a character out there that hit me quite as hard as Bakugo did. And, you know, I was talking to one of my subscribers on Instagram, and then they kind of like summed up my type in anime pretty well. They said like, oh, you like the bad boy gone good kind of guy, right? I was like, yeah. Like, when I thought about it, I was like, yeah. Now that you mention it, that is my type. My first ever comfort character was Neji from Naruto, and then my crush was Gaara. All kind of like bad boy gone good-ish vibes. And then like Kakashi as well from Kuroko no Basket. You know, they all started off kind of on the antagonist side. And I feel like Bakugo really hits hard because like his character development was just like so well built. You know, it was such a well told story. And I feel like his character development was like even more complex than Deku. So like definitely I think Bakugo is my all-time favorite. Ooh, I just really wanted to sneeze just now, but like lost it. Okay. And then I got a message. I checked out your Bakugo fanfic. It was epic. Thank you! You can't see, but I'm like dabbing right now. Thanks. I worked really hard on that, and honestly, that was something I started towards like middle of sophomore or junior year of college. I started working on that, and that was like when COVID first hit. You know, I started working on that, and then it just became like a thing. And that is full of like my own. It has like a lot of my own personal experiences in there. Some of my Bakugo fantasies in there. And it's for those of you who don't know, the fanfiction is called Fight Me, Protect Me, Love Me, and it's basically a story about a college student and an adult Bakugo. So Bakugo is like 20. My OC Kamiko is like 20. She goes to college, and she used to go to UA, but she was like in the normal course. But like she has this like super overpowered quirk, but she doesn't want to be a hero. It's kind of like my way of, cause like I see that a lot of people when they make like My Hero OCs, they always make them either into like a hero or a villain. But I kind of just wanted to tell a story about like this really OP character who like lives in a society where most people are expected to do something, right? Like she has an overpowered quirk, so people expect her to be a hero. But like she doesn't, but like I feel like there are always people who kind of like don't want to live up to the expectation, and that's just like the kind of story that I wanted to tell. And also she's like a very hardcore fujoshi. She like draws BL for a living. And I also wanted to make someone like Bakugo, you know, someone who I feel like is like a very whatchamacallit, like I guess he's the kind of guy, like if he were real in real life, like I feel like he'd be the kind of guy who would get really triggered and just like really confused by fujoshis. Like he'd be like, why do you like this shit? Like kind of person. And so I feel like it would be really funny to make Bakugo fall for a fujoshi. So that was a that's basically the story. And yeah, it's just like, honestly right now I'm kind of running out of juice for that, which is why I'm kind of like rushing into the the plot that I'm writing right now, and I hope I don't end it on a bad. I hope I don't end it like badly. Like badly, not as in there's gonna be a bad ending, but as in like I feel like it's because I'm kind of like running out of juices for like some details that I feel like I'm rushing things in the writing, so I feel like it's a little bit bad storytelling. I might have to go back and edit it later. But for now, I hope you guys enjoy it, for those of you who have read it. Anyways, next we have some My Hero Academia Aizawa Shota headcanons from Scully Cakes. Yay! Thank you, Scully. Honestly, I really like Scully. You know, I talk to them a lot on Instagram. They have really cool ideas, and I'm really happy that you have submitted so many headcanons because I'm really excited to read them. Hold up, let me just like format this a little because the document format is a little weird. Wrapping, yeah, wrap text. Okay, there we go. Alright, so these are all Aizawa headcanons, by the way. So, first headcanon. Lives with his best friend Mike because Mike kind of bugged him till he gave in. I feel like that's a headcanon that everyone has, and yes, except for like once they got into, you know how like in the middle of like My Hero Academia they kind of switched into dorms, so like I know that they have staff dorms, so I'm pretty sure it's canon that like both President Mike and Aizawa live in the staff dorms, but I feel like before that they definitely have like an apartment together. Aizawa sleeps nude, so he would have his door locked most definitely. Actually, that's like a headcanon that I have. Like, I don't know why. Like, he just strikes me as the type of guy who would sleep nude. And it's weird, I know, but like, I don't know why I think of him that way, but like, you're absolutely right. Like, he does strike me as the type that would sleep nude. Who keeps messaging me? Okay, never mind. Anyways. Okay. Next headcanon, not the one to stay long when company is invited over. He'll go to his room to work or nap. Sadly, yes. I feel like, so this part of him like really reminds me of my dad, like this headcanon, because my dad is the type who's like my dad is like, I guess he's not like rude, but he's more like introverted and very awkward, like socially awkward. And so like when we have guests over, which are mainly my mom's friend, my mom's really outgoing and she has a lot of friends. So whenever we have like family friends who come over, I feel like my dad's always just like sitting there on the computer, and then sometimes like he would talk to the guests. Recently it's gotten better. Like years before, like he would rarely talk to our guests, but like recently now he like talks to the guests and then they discuss some things. I feel like Aizawa is that kind of guy. It's not that he's trying to be rude, it's more like he doesn't really know what to say, and just like, yeah, just, you know, he's like, he doesn't really know what to say, so he doesn't talk to them. And, you know, but it's all's good since President Mike's also there, you know, so like all's good. Okay, he's not big on cameras or the media, but will take a photo with a kid. Aizawa was a softie at heart. I think that's true. We all know he's not a media person, and I feel like he would be really surprised if a kid actually knows him, because, you know, he's not, you know, he is always hiding from the media. So, and this is also canon that like when like few people really know about Eraserhead. Like when he was in class, when he first taught them, a lot of the kids were like, Eraserhead? Who? But like Deku was like one of the only like students who actually knew about Eraserhead, who was like an underground hero. And I think Aizawa would be very surprised if a kid actually recognizes him on the street and be like, hey, can we take a picture? And then he'd be like, really reluctantly say, fine. You know, but on the inside, he's actually kind of happy. Okay, Next headcanon, doesn't particularly like PDA, but in some cases, if it's secluded, like in the back away of prying eyes, then he might become more hands-on. Yeah, I see it. I definitely see it. I think he's like, I don't see him as the kind of guy who would, like, you know, want to, like, in front of people. I don't think he would. I think holding hands is okay, but I feel like he's actually kind of comfortable with it because he has like the confidence that nobody really recognizes him. You know, when he's out there, when you guys are outside on the street, he just like default doesn't think that anyone would recognize him. So he's okay with like hand holding, but he's like not into like overly affection, like no kissing in public in front of people, mainly because like he would get very uncomfortable if he saw that in public. So he'd be like, ew, like why? Like, why would you show this to me in public? So he doesn't want to do that to other people either. So, you know, he's that kind of person. And yeah, I feel like if like nobody's watching, he would definitely get a little bit handsy, which is really nice. Okay, next one. Definitely shares his sleeping bag only with his partner. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if his sleeping bag would fit though, because Aizawa is kind of buff. At least like, okay, I take that back. In the first season of the anime, I feel like a lot of them were drawn to be pretty scrawny, and I feel like Aizawa was drawn pretty scrawny. Or maybe he just looks scrawny, like in his clothing. Like maybe under that all of that, you know, is actually a really buff. Like I always believe that under all of that is a really macho, and like, you know, he has really big pecs, nice abs, you know, that's like, you know, kind of like the image I painted inside my head. But then now that I think about it, all the arts of him, like he looks pretty skinny. But I feel like that's an art problem, you know. Maybe he's just the type who looks skinny in clothes, right? There are people like that. So yeah. Anyways, next headcanon. When stressed, will want kisses and maybe a nap with his head on his partner's lap. Yes, I see that. I feel like naps are kind of like a normal thing. Like whenever anything goes wrong, you know, take a nap, right? Sleep everything away, sleep all the negativity away. I feel like, you know, in your day, just like when you're just like normally going on about the day, he'll just somehow random come up to you and go like, let's take a nap, and be like, okay. You know, it's so normal to you guys. It's just like, if you guys have nothing to do, you'll take a nap together. And then you'll just like be on the couch and he'll just like lay on your lap and sleep while you read a book or even watch TV. And I think it's okay with some background noise. So yeah, it's pretty cute. Last headcanon is during teacher meetings, Aizawa likes to get handsy. Oh god, underneath the table. Oh god. I mean, he rubs, grips, and maybe even rub too close to his partner's private area. Oh god. He loves seeing how hot and bothered he can make them. It's really hot to think about, but I don't know how accurate that is because, like, I mean, Aizawa to me just strikes as someone who, you know, I don't think he's that risky. I don't think he's that risky, but it's hot. Like, it's hot. It's a really hot idea, but I don't think that's very Aizawa. Like, you know, it's more like a fan in Aizawa than a canon Aizawa, you know. It's just like, I just think he won't. It's really hot though. Like, oh my god, you just put that idea in my head. I'm just like, oh my god, would he? No, I'm gonna stick to my gut. He wouldn't. But I like the idea. God, this is so good. Okay, so, and then you have a question. Sorry for not being like character related, but are we allowed to make fan art of Kamiko and send it to you? Cause I love to draw Kamiko and my MHAOC Kira just chilling. Yes. If you guys want to draw like fan arts of any of my OCs, like please go ahead, you know, send it to me. I can even like post it here on like my YouTube channel or even my Twitter. Like I'd I'd love to share your fan arts of them. And honestly, like, I feel like my OC designs are pretty boring, so it's really flattering, like, when you guys actually like my OC designs, so thanks. Okay, and I have a message from Scully that says, "Thank you so much for your content. It helps me with creating my own headcanons or get me inspired for a story idea." Yay! You know, that's all that matters. I think, you know, this is like why I'm doing this, you know, if I can inspire you, help you in any way, then that basically means I have accomplished my goal. Because, like, for me, making headcanons is just a lazy version of making fanfiction, mainly because, like, I don't have time to write a lot of fanfiction. Like, I don't have time to put down all my ideas and make them into a story. So making headcanons is like my lazy version of making fanfictions. And if people can take that, turn it into their own fanfiction, like incorporate it in there, that'd be like great. You know, I'd love to see that. Okay. Lastly, we have submissions from Marcy. Yay! Thank you, Marcy. She specifically messaged me and asked that I read hers last, and she also told me that hers is going to be very spicy. So yeah, be prepared, guys. Like, if really spicy things start going, just know that I'm reading this for the first time, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a great reader. Like, I stutter a lot, and sometimes, like, you know, I pause when I'm not supposed to pause, you know, like, so if this thing ends up sounding a little dry because I'm reading it for the first time, I'm going to be really, like, I want to apologize beforehand. So yeah. So, okay, let's get started. You guys ready? Because I'm actually really excited for this one. Alright, so the anime of the situation. Ooh, situation. I love situations. Okay, situation. The anime is Jujutsu Kaisen. Character is Itadori and Sukuna. Ryomen Sukuna. Marcy typed Sukuna Ryomen, but like I just want to, like, you know, for educational purposes, I want you guys to know that it's Ryomen Sukuna. And the reason why you can't say Sukuna Ryomen is because Ryomen is not actually his name. Ryomen means two-faced, so his Ryomen Sukuna means Sukuna of two faces. It's because, you know, he canonically has two faces. So a lot of people actually don't know that, because like in the translations and the subtitles and like the English dub, they say Ryomen Sukuna. And they don't actually tell you that Ryomen means two faces. And so it's just like how when you say Sasuke Ada, you can't say Ada Sasuke because Sasuke is not the last name. Sasuke is like an adjective, and Ryomen is also an adjective. So that's just educational purposes, just telling you guys that Ryomen Sukuna cannot be said as Sukuna Ryomen. It is because like Ryomen is not a name. Alright. Okay. Alright, the situation. Let me just like breathe. Actually, let me get some water before I read this because it's pretty long. Okay. Whew. Being in a relationship with Itadori is like a 2-for-1 deal at Victoria's Secrets. It's taxing, but at the same time, it's still a great deal, and you're getting quality goods. At first, it's a bit daunting. Your initial boyfriend had eyes or mouths popping out of nowhere to make some backhanded comments, jeering and embarrassing your sweet, goofy boyfriend. Sometimes the eyes would stare or the mouth would smirk and talk smack. Yuji had no choice but to live like this. The cursed spirit was residing in him after all. But you loved him nonetheless, and that's what being in love is partly about. Accepting and overcoming obstacles to be with the one you love and loving them for who they are. Most of the time, Itadori's in control, but somehow Sukuna gets very vocal when you're in the picture. Oh god. You realize that old curse had wormed his day into your relationship and into your heart, when you couldn't help but smile when he'd decide to come out and voice his little sly remarks while you and Yuji chilled in the underground lounge as you rewatched Hunger Games. His favorite girl, Jennifer Lawrence, was on TV, but it didn't bother you. Sukuna's lips were below Yuji's left eye as he complained, "I don't know why you're such an ass guy. I prefer my women with melons." Your slave has the right idea. What the fuck? Okay. Let me just continue reading. You rolled your eyes at his stupid curse, at the stupid curse who can't seem to shut up. Yuji frowns and moved to cover the mouth, but you beat him to it, taking both of them off guard by kissing Sukuna. You felt that damn devil's tongue respond by licking your lips. You almost got carried away, about to part your lips, but thought better of it. Pulling back, you pulled a sly smirk of your own. Yuji is full on red, and Sukuna's vicious grin that took over Yuji's face was bright. I'll shut you up more often if you let me spend time with my boyfriend. Human, I'm not so desperate for a kiss. I didn't hear you complaining when you wanted to stick your demon tongue in my mouth, you royal pain in my boyfriend's ass. Oh my god, the drama! Next time, I'll devour you for your insolence, Sukuna scoffs. I'm looking forward to it. You said playfully. Sukuna doesn't say anything but retreats. And then, YN, Yuji had a pout. What was that? Just shutting up the demon boyfriend? And it's pretty nonchalant how you said it, like it's a duh moment. So, what does that make me? Yuji leans his body over to you, his face mere inches from your own. You smile before grabbing a hold of him. That makes you my angel, Yuji. Oh my god, my heart too, my kokoro. You give him his pouty. Oh god, You give his pouty lips a passionate kiss that can make your boyfriend melt, and since Sukuna didn't come out to say anything, you're pretty sure he's cool with whatever you've just said. Oh my god. I didn't expect this to be this good. Like, I didn't expect this to be like so well fanfiction-y written, like in a fanfiction style. I expected something more, casual. But this is so narrative and just like, it's amazing. It's like I read like a very short one-shot and I really like it. Honestly, you guys should send me more of this. This is amazing. And oh my god, the way Sukuna just like the melons. Oh my god, the melons. Oh. Oh my god. Let me think about this. Like yes. I feel like thing is, I like headcanon wise, I still can't quite figure out Sukuna's type. Like just because like Sukuna, he's like not, he doesn't strike me as the type canonically who would be interested in anyone, and he wants to like kill people because he thinks it's fun. So I can't quite figure out if he'd be more into asses or melons, but like I feel like it doesn't really matter. But like this is great. Honestly, it's ooh, it's the conversation is honestly golden. This is amazing. Oh god. And then and yes, it's like I feel like this is very controversial, like the idea of like dating two boyfriends, but like when they come, because like Sukuna and Itadori, even though they share the same body, they're two different entities, and loving both of them, very controversial, but very hot. Very, very hot. Yeah, and so like I think they're like a 2-in-1 package. I feel like when Yuji got a girlfriend, like canonically speaking, this is purely canonically speaking, okay? I feel like Sukuna might not actually, you know, like his girlfriend, like romantically, that is. It's like he kind of be like, and the kid got a girlfriend, like so what, right? But like, just like the idea that he would also fall in love with whoever Yuji fell in love with says a lot. It's like, it just means that this person, like YN, right, just has so much charisma and just like is just so lovable that she or he was able to like seduce the Demon King, you know? So yeah, it's like if you got Sukuna to fall in love with you, like, you know you're the shit. Okay, next we got a question from Marcy. Question: Hi Ada, is it possible for you to draw a family skit for your babies? All of them in one scenario. It'd be nice to see how they all interact with each other. Your babies as in Mitsuki, Kamiko, Shunji, Kazuya, and the twins, and Yoshiro. Yes, that's actually something that I have been trying to do, and lately, like, I just haven't been able to get to it, but, you know, I've always wanted to draw them, like, interact with each other. I don't know if I could fit all of them into a single video. But I'll try. I'll definitely try. And I definitely want to, like, you know, draw more scenarios of just them interacting with each other. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to do in the future. And then we have another headcanon from Marcy for Jujutsu Kaisen, and this is still aged up Itadori Yuji and Sukuna. And this, she gave me a warning. This is some very hot, spicy habanero pepper type headcanon, so be careful as you read. Thank you for the warning. And I guess, like, I mean, personally, I thought the last situation was already pretty spicy, but like this one, I guess we have to be extra prepared. So, some more water, so to quench our thirst. I hope you guys are drinking water too. Stay hydrated. Also, because like my throat and my mouth gets easily dry when I talk, so okay. Alright, the headcanon, let's get started. As we know, Yuji is a saint compared to the literal sin that is known as Sukuna, so it's no surprise with the way they are in the bedroom. Yuji is the wholesome boyfriend who makes love to you. He's the type of guy that likes to see the expressions you make. It's a turn on when he can see just how much you enjoy taking him, and he especially likes when you ride him or take charge because he doesn't mind switching roles. He likes to do long but deep, slow to moderate strokes. His favorite position is hitting it from the back to see your ass clap and jiggle. And may the force be with you because he's gonna let your pleasure marinate. He likes to verbalize just how well you take him and how good you make him feel. He's also very in tune to what you like and dislike. Now, Sukuna is the embodiment of a sin. He's your sinful master, and you know when he takes control, you're fucked because it's Dom 24/7. He's the type to hold you by the neck, pushing your face down into the sheets while screwing your brains out. He thinks of you as a slave to his, or rather Yuji's, eggplant because of how much he makes you scream and cry for pleasure. Of course, and honestly, this man can bring out the masochist in you. He gives zero fucks if you're overstimulated, and he loves it when you beg him to make you orgasm. But he's a merciful master when he feels you're on your best behavior, so he'll definitely reward you for being his good little sleeve. He's also a biter. He'll leave his dark purplish red marks all over your skin, and he doesn't give a shit who sees. Unlike Yuji's, who's a bit more discreet. It's borderline abuse because he knows the next Yuji is in control, he'll be pissed about it. He gets a kick out of claiming you for Yuji to see. Oh my god. Yeah, that was definitely some insane shit. This just reminds me of that doujinshi that I read that I mentioned in my Sukuna headcanon video. Like, this just like reminds me of everything that I read there. And this is, oh god. Okay, my doors are closed. Like, hopefully nobody heard me reading all of that. Oh my god, that was so hot. Like, I need to take off my jacket. That was very hot. Like, you can't see my face, but it's all red right now. I need some more water. I need to, like, give me a moment. Whew. Oh god. Oh my god. That is like, and people ask me how I write like all those spicy stuff. Like, look at this. Like, this is insanely spicy. Like, honestly, Marcy, if you ever write a fan fiction, like, please send it to me, like, and make it as spicy as possible, because this is quality. This is high quality spiciness that I am living for. Thank you. This is, and the way you like describe things, like when you said like he's gonna let your pleasure marinate. Oh wow, I just love the description. This is so good, and it's just like everything you wrote is like, it paints such a good picture in my head, and I just wish that I wasn't reading this for the first time, because like I could have read it better, you know. Like, reading it for the first time, I definitely stuttered here and there, but you know, it's just like, ooh, this is really good stuff. Thank you so much for writing this. This is such a treat to read. Oh wow. Like, please write in the comments, you know, what you guys thought of this, because woo, that was spicy. Okay, and then we got a message from Marcy. Hi there, Ada. Hope all is well with you. Just wanted to say, as always, thank you for all that you do. I love how you're staying creative with each content you create. You give us the best of both worlds with your art and headcanons. And I'm so happy whenever you get to share your daily life with us, like about your cat or your dog, just little details. It's so wholesome to me. I know that you know how much I appreciate you, and genuinely from the bottom of my currently sad and anxious heart, love you, and will continue to do so as long as I'm able. I can't see the future, but nothing's going to stop me from hyping up your content. I wish for you all the love and happiness in the universe, because you deserve to smile at least once every day. Please continue to take care of yourself. Keep evolving your talent, as it's okay if you're not in a set idea. Keep exploring, learning, and finding what works for you as an artist and as a content creator. Keep up the great work. You're doing awesome, Ada. Aww, Marcy, you write the best messages. It's like, it's so heartwarming. Honestly, it's just like, I just want you to know that you make me smile every day. Thank you so much, Marcy. This is, ooh, my heart. Oh. It's like fluttering right now. It's just like, it makes me really happy. And I'm so sorry that you're feeling sad or anxious. And you know, if you ever want to like share, you know, what's going on, you know, I hope I can help in some sort of way. Like, I hope my content cheers you up. And honestly, so you guys, I'm so grateful to you guys when you guys ask me, you know, how I'm doing, are you doing well, you know, things like that. And I want to tell you guys that I'm doing great, emotionally and mentally and physically. Physically is questionable, because lately, you know how the temperature is a little weird, so I feel like I might be a little sick, just because like I've been having like this headache going on. And it's honestly so annoying, because like I feel fine everywhere else, it's just my head hurts. And the other day, like, I felt like so dizzy, just like, and today I felt a little dizzy too, you know, so I might just go to bed early today. But like, I feel like it might be like a temperature thing, you know, because I don't know about you guys, but where I live, it's like one day it'll be like below freezing, and then the next day it'll be as hot as summer. So like this drastic change into this, and this is a like this happens every year around this season, like around spring, the temperature will just like fluctuate constantly, and that really does make people sick. So recently I haven't been feeling too well physically, but like mentally and emotionally I'm great. So something that like I've noticed is that there are a lot of content creators out there who, you know, have depression or claim to have depression. Like, you never know, some of them might be lying, but like I give them the benefit of the doubt. But like it's just like it just kind of like really bothers me how so many people have depression or anxiety or some sort of like, you know, like I guess issue that they're dealing with, and it makes me really sad. And I've always thought that I was a very normal person, but it turns out that me being a straight Asian young woman who has no mental illness, has a great relationship with my parents, is actually a very rare human being. Like that just makes me so sad, because this is like my normal life, and I just thought like my life is normal, right? But as I got older and as I'm on the internet more, and like honestly the people around me are most of them are like me. Like, we have great relationship with our parents, we're generally happy, a lot of us are mentally very stable, and we don't have any sort of like, you know, illnesses that we're going through. And so I always thought that most people were like this, but as I got older and started going on the internet more, I just found out that so many people out there are dealing with things. Like, a lot of them are like traumatized from the past, like from, you know, everyone has a different trauma. Some of them have like daddy issues or mommy issues, like, don't get me started on those. And then like, you know, they just like, and then the anxiety and depression, don't get me started on how many people have that. That's just so sad to me, and I don't know what I can do for people like that, to be honest, because I will never claim to understand your life and what you're going through, because I know I could never, right? So, and honestly, it's just so difficult for me to try to help, even, because it's like, even if you told me, I wouldn't know what to say back to you. So it's just why doing things like providing headcanons, like these kind of things, you know, something that can maybe like relax your day, means a lot to me. Like, as long as I can bring you a smile one way or another, that helps me and you know. For me, like, it makes me feel like I can do something for you. For you, I hope it actually, you know, brighten your day up. So Marcy, and to anyone else who is feeling like they have a shitty day or even a shitty life, you know, I hope the best for you guys. And I want to tell you that, you know, life always, I mean, it doesn't always, but life does get better at some point. You know, it has its ups and downs, and like, even though I say like I have no issues, you know, my life hasn't always been, you know, all happy and giddy. You know, I have a great relationship with my parents, but I also had some hardships, especially during my college days. It was, you know, I feel very privileged and blessed, but everyone has had hardships, and, you know, some people, you know, maybe in their life things just doesn't seem to get better. Like, it just gets worse and worse. And honestly, I've heard stories about people and their life is just tragic. You know, some people it gets better, some people not really. So I feel like a really key thing about happiness is, I guess, satisfaction. Being satisfied with who you are, what you have, and just, you know, don't compare yourself to other people, I guess. Like, the less you compare, the more happy you'll be. So yeah. hoping the best for all of you guys. Okay, lastly, we have another headcanon from Marcy. Oh, I'm loving these. And it's for Gaara from Naruto. Aged up, by the way. How do you guys know Gaara's my favorite? Okay. Ooh, calm down. Adjust my mindset and my emotions from the talk just now. Okay, getting ready to read this. Whew. Here we go. This man is not an open book. You cannot simply read his mind. Read this man. And just like Naruto, he knew a life of sorrow and death. His father neglected him, his uncle tried to assassinate him, his mother died in childbirth, leaving the sand and Shikaku as his protection. He's known hate and deception, so he's not readily open to love, even with getting better with the help of Naruto and his siblings, as well as newfound friends playing a big role in his reforming. He's not the touchy type of boyfriend, but you should give him a hug and be mindful of his automatic sand barrier. He seems like the type to hold you at arm's length at first, no PDA in public. Deep down, once he's in love with you, I'm pretty sure you'll have him blushing in private. He also tends to have small smiles when you're around. If you play your cards right, you can even shock him when you point out cute behaviors he's developed that he didn't even notice while being with you. He's always in charge. Just feel free to relinquish yourself to him, because if you've become so important to him, believe me, he'll do his best not to break you. He'll take care of you, and he might not know exactly how, but it's what he's thinking when he doesn't have his nation's affair on his brain. He finds it helpful when you help to indirectly teach him how to be loving and gentle, so in turn he can act accordingly the same way with you. His laugh, smile, and kisses are absolutely special because they're only meant for you to experience. Oh, my heart. This is so freaking wholesome. Oh my god. Okay, I needed to take some water because that was a mouthful. But, oh my god. Like Gaara is my first crush, right? My first anime crush, like the guy that I would, wish to be real so he could, love me. And this is everything that I think of Gaara. Yeah. Like for me, it was actually very difficult to imagine like what kind of boyfriend he is, because he's so broken, right? And it's just like, as he's healing, I was like very curious to see like what kind of lover he'd be. And it was a very big disappointment when in Boruto you don't really get to see like if Gaara had a wife, and that, I think it was, and he does have a son, whatever his name was again, but it's not his biological son. It's more like an adopted. He adopted him. But it was nice to see that he adopted a son, but like, just like the fact that he doesn't canonically have a wife, and you didn't. I mean, I guess I'm happy about that, because that means he's still open for me. But like, it's still a little disappointing, because like, I guess like Kishimoto himself doesn't really know like what kind of woman that would fit with Gaara. Or maybe Gaara's gay. Maybe that's what he's trying to tell us. But I'm not gonna get into that. But like, I just like, wanted to see Gaara fall in love, right? You even got to see Kakashi fall in love in like the fillers, right? It's like, even though it's like you can't really say that, but there was this one filler where Kakashi, had like a spy ninja from another village who like has this like memory power or whatever, and she and Kakashi had this like thing going on. But like, and then there was like in Kakashi Gaiden, I think there was also something about a woman. I don't know, I forgot, but yeah, I didn't actually read it, but I heard or read like a summary of it somewhere. But like, yeah, so it's very disappointing that you don't get to see Gaara have, you know, the love of his life, and everyone else, you know, got their relationship, and that was really wholesome and satisfying to see. So it was very disappointing that you didn't get to see it for Gaara and Kankuro. Honestly, why? Everyone got like something, and Tenten didn't either. Like, it's not even like, you don't even know if Tenten and Lee got together because it's never confirmed who like Metal's mom is. So Tenten might as well be single, and that's just sad, right? I just like, honestly, like when I think of Gaara, I just think like he's the kind of guy that would just like hold you so delicately. Like, he's so afraid to hurt you. I think he like, because like in his past, you know, he killed so many people, and he understands how easily he can kill with his sand. So like in the beginning he would be very, very delicate with you, but then like as he's more confident in his control of his abilities, you know, he definitely be more open with you and stuff like that. But he's still a very careful guy, and it's just like he's definitely more to the wholesome side and not as problematic as my current crush Bakugo. And I feel like I'd be more, you know, this is like giving away a lot of my kinks, but like I feel like right now I'd be more into someone like Bakugo, who's a little more on the dangerous side. But Gaara is definitely all fluffs and clouds and just like butterflies, like butterfly as in butterfly kisses, not butterflies in your stomach. That's a little different. And just like flowers, but cactuses. He actually, did you guys know that Gaara's hobby is like growing cacti farming? That's his hobby. That's so freaking cute. Oh my god. Like I just like imagine like you and Gaara, or me and Gaara in this case, I guess. We would have our little greenhouse together, and then we would grow like all different cacti, and I would just like grow a lot of aloe vera because I love aloe vera. And then and dragon fruits, because dragon fruits grow on cacti. And it's just like, you know, have our little greenhouse and our little garden, and every day when he's done with like his paperwork, so we'd go into our little greenhouse, and then we wouldn't water, actually, no, because like cacti doesn't need that much water, but like we just like tend to our little cacti, and you know, it'd be so cute. And then I'd like get my hand poked and be like, oh no baby, are you okay? And then he'd just like, oh, okay, stop. I need to stop now. I'm just like blushing. Oh, I love him so much. Now I'm just like daydreaming. Oh my god, thank you so much, Marcy, for putting this in my head. Oh, I love him so much. Whew. And that concludes all of our headcanon submissions this month, and that was so good. Guys, keep it coming for the next month. These are getting so good. Like, thank you so much. Oh my god. Whew. Oh, like this wasn't even a lot, okay? Like people wise, only 4 people submitted headcanons this month, but look at how long that this thing has been going on. Like, it's been an hour now. Whew. That was quality content, I'm telling you. Next month, keep it coming, guys. Alright, this concludes the headcanon submission section of the podcast. See you guys in the next section. So, like, every month, like, I want to share a little bit of, like, some of the things I'm doing, some things that I'm working on, that I plan to work on, and so this is kind of like the section for that. So lately I've been really busy. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, like, back when I first started reposting again, because I was gone for like a few months. I posted in the morning around like 9-10ish, and then later on around these like recently I've been posting in the afternoon during my local time. So I live in the Eastern time, so the same timeline, the same time zone as New York City. And recently, the reason why I've been posting later in the day is because I got busier at work. I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but I do have a day job, and my 9-to-5 job is a software engineer. So I work as a software engineer, and originally when I first started reposting it again, I just started working my current job, and so I was like still during like training, and I wasn't given a lot of work to do, so which is why I had a lot of time on my hands in the morning. Like, don't tell my boss, please. That and so I kind of was able to post in the morning. But now that like I kind of getting into it, I've been here for a few months now, and I'm well trained, and now I'm starting to like get tickets to work on, and my boss is starting to like give me things to do. And so now I've gotten busier, and during the day I'm trying to focus more on my job, and so I kind of like start posting at night now. So yeah, I'm just like gotten a little busy, and I feel like getting a little busy has also been a little bit tiring, because being a software engineer, it's very brain consuming every day. And something that makes me really like, I'm so scared that I would like lose all my hair because of this. It's a stereotype that for like people who do like software engineer, that you would lose your hair. It's just like, so yeah, I sleep early because I want to prevent hair loss. Anyways, that's like outside the point. So something that I'm working on, obviously I'm drawing my little mercenary AU, little dojin. I'm also drawing some like NSFW art on the side that I only post in Patreon. And a news about my Patreon is I changed my Patreon tiers so that it only has an all-in-one $3 tier. Like, the reason why I'm doing that is because I actually don't have a lot of Patreons. But that's not the reason. The reason is because I'm actually really lazy. And I also felt like because I don't have a lot of Patreons, it's like just like too much work to keep them separate. There's only like a few people seeing this, so I'd rather like these few people like see all of it, and I don't want them to pay that much for it because there's only that many of them, and so keeping separate tiers is just too much work. So now we have an all-in-one $3 tier where you can basically see all of my works, colored, non-colored, drafts, and all of that, and early access, everything, cool stuff. And so yeah, lately I've been working on some NSFWR. Honestly, you guys should give me more idea for NSFWR. If you're my patron, or even if you're not my patron, you should give me ideas. Like, give me characters to draw, because like I default to Bakugo too much. I should draw more characters. I really need to. And then recently I had this like amazing idea that I started working on. You guys know how back then I wrote a Mafia Todoroki X-Reader fanfic audio? It's like out there. You guys should totally check that out if you haven't. I want to, and then how like the last like few weeks, 2 weeks ago, or was it last week, I posted a villain Denki spicy headcanon. Yeah, so that gave me the idea that I want to write a fanfic after I finish the Fight Me, Protect Me, Love Me Bakugo one. I want to write a Mafia AU fanfic, like about a few couples, I guess. So I want to focus around 5 couples. So one is the Todoroki one. He's going to be in there, and then there's going to be a Bakugo one, a Denki, and then Kirishima and Deku. So 5 of them. It's going to be a focus on 5 couples, and I think I'm going to use OCs instead of reader inserts, because obviously it's going to be, you can't keep track of 5 reader inserts, right? It's going to be in one universe, and it'll be something. It's a really wild and interesting idea, and right now, so far, I want to. I'm writing kind of like, I guess, a prologue for each of the couple, I guess. And the prologues are all gonna be like reader inserts, because I want to make each prologue into an audio. Right now, I have the idea down for Bakugo, Denki, and obviously I already finished Todoroki, so that's done. I'm still constructing ideas for Kirishima's relationship and Deku's relationship, mainly because I'm trying to figure out how like their personalities should be in the Mafia AU, and just like how wild I want them to be, and like how they would fit and what kind of lover would make sense in that kind of story. But it's just like, this is like this wild idea that I really, really want to do after I'm done with my current fanfiction. So yeah, looking forward to getting that done. And honestly, I need more time. Like, you guys don't know how tiring being a software engineer is, but if I don't do my day job, I'm not gonna have money. so yeah, gotta work hard. I wish I had more time, so I can work on these. Yeah, so that's the idea. And I hope you guys are as excited as I am about it, because like, as I'm just like pumping out ideas and jotting them down, it's just like, ooh, I don't know if I should get into the details of like my concepts that I have right now. I'm not going to. I don't want to spoil it. I want to keep it as much of a mystery as possible before I actually do the audios. So yeah, that's that. Ooh, I really want to voice some audios, because I do have some fanfic that I need to like make audios for. The reason why I haven't is because they're kind of spicy, and I'm not sure how I'm going to go about that. Like, I kind of want to like avoid the spicy part, because community guidelines, and honestly it's just a little bit on the embarrassing side to voice the spicy parts. But yeah, going to do some careful consideration on that. Some other things that I want to talk about is like, every month for the podcast, I kind of like want to talk about something that means a lot to me. And recently I came across this TikTok about of a TikTok artist, like, who draws like basically their content, I guess their content, because I'm don't want to like misgender them. Their content is basically a fan page for Genshin. I don't play Genshin, mainly because I don't have time to. My brother plays, and he's been trying to get me to play, and honestly, should I play? Would you guys be interested in me streaming Genshin? Like, it would take a lot of my time away from drawing and writing, but would you guys be interested in watching me play Genshin? Like, let me know. But like, anyways, her fan, she's like a Genshin fan artist, and her artwork is amazing. Oh wait, I just said her. Oops. Their artwork, because I mean, like, in my defense, they are female passing, so I mean, but like, just what if they're, I'm sorry, some, like, I'm still not used to using they them pronouns as default, I guess, like, because it's kind of like a newer concept, I guess, in recent years. It was not a thing when I was in high school. So okay, so basically their video was, and I'm going to actually play the video here for you guys, so hold on, because like this is going to require some post editing and it's gonna take a while, so I'm gonna show you the video here. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, here's Zhao. This is Zhao. Don't scroll. Anyway, if you've attended like either of my lives from the last 2 days, you probably know about my story about the really racist comment that I received from someone. Anyway, long story short, they basically tried to tell me that because I didn't make Tan Zhao yellow enough that I was erasing his Chinese heritage, which definitely takes the cake as the most racist comment I've gotten this week. Anyways, I blocked them, obviously, and I was kind of a little bummed afterwards because I realized I had no evidence to prove afterwards that this had happened. But I forgot that I actually do have screenshots of the really racist follow-up video that they made on their account after I blocked them, which was them trying to correct the skin color that I picked. And yeah, this video nightmare.
So yeah, I hope that gives you a good idea of what exactly happened, and nothing's wrong with their video. Let me get this straight. It's more of the thing that their video kind of like, the topic that their video kind of reminded me of, that it alludes to. I guess it's like the part that really bugged me was the racist, I guess, person-ish who said that that when they drew Xiao, the name's pronounced Xiao, by the way, in Chinese, when that making Xiao tan is erasing his Chinese heritage, that part really bugged me because I'm Chinese, and like, first of all, it's just like people get, I just don't know why this is an argument online, and like people online get so like triggered over like the most like trivial things. Like, do people not know that Asians, it's just like no matter what race you are, people in every single race comes in all sorts of shades, right? Even no matter if you're black, white, yellow, and okay. And there was a comment that was like, someone was like, isn't calling him yellow racist? Let me get this straight, is like, calling someone yellow itself is not really racist, because yellow, I guess, is just slang for Asian, East Asian-ish. It's just like how if you say, oh, he's white, or oh, he's black, it's not really racist because it's more like making an observation, but it might be offensive to some people, I guess. Like, some people prefer saying African American, some people prefer like Caucasian, but I guess to me personally, if someone said, oh yeah, that guy, he's yellow, it's just the exact same thing as saying, oh, that guy's Asian. So calling someone yellow itself is not racist, I guess, at least not to me. Like, it may be offensive for some people, but not to me. But like, the thing is like, not make him yellow enough, and then just like goes out and like points out like the skin shade. That's, rather than saying that's racist, it's more like ignorant, I guess, because also, like, every single race, they come in different shades, no matter you're black, white, or yellow. Because even if you like look at black people, they're not all dark. Some come in lighter shades and some come in darker shades. Same with white people. Some are hella pale, like as if they haven't stepped into sun, and then some are really tan, right? And it's just like, and Asians too. Like, there are really pale Asians, and then there are really dark Asians. So like, and then this kind of like, and so like saying that making Xiao tan would erase his Chinese heritage is just absurd. Honestly, it's absurd. And but what I really wanted to talk about isn't exactly, it kind of like has something to do with what's behind this issue, I guess. I guess it's like the skin color representation, I guess. a lot of people wonder why in anime and in the games like Genshin, like a lot of the characters are white, or at least they say they're white. They're not actually white, they're Asian, I guess. I guess about that I wanted to like give some opinions and some analysis, and just like as an Asian anime artist, I wanted to like tell you guys kind of like my personal like things that go in my head kind of thing, my opinions on this matter. A lot of people say, oh, why are the anime characters so white, right? The thing about fictional drawings is that it's really difficult to depict race. So, I mean, I guess the really good artists that depict race really well is like American comics, because American comics are actually very realistic. The art style is drawn very realistically, so they do a good job depicting race. But even in those, it's actually kind of hard to differentiate between like Asians and Caucasians, because like, you know, there are black-haired and dark brown-eyed Caucasians, so like sometimes like this character looks like, for example, Batman, Bruce Wayne. Like, honestly, to me, like in Batman, the animation, he looks Asian to me, but he's white. So like, you know, the art, it's really difficult to depict race in art, and especially Japanese anime style, because the characters are drawn so disproportionately, especially in the facial area. Like, realistically, nobody has like those big googly eyes, right? So it's really difficult. And then there are a lot of like art styles where the nose is just a line, right? It's so difficult to depict race. So, and because like people of the same race come in so many different shades, it's like, unless the author confirms, right? Unless the artist confirms, like, this person is Asian, this person is black, this person is white, you know, it's going to be really hard to assume, right? And then people always complain about how there's no representation, like, of like darker skinned characters in like anime and games and stuff like that. And I gotta say, like, this really comes down, I guess, to the artist's preference, I guess. Yes, in Japanese anime, there's not a lot of representation of black and white people, but that's because most of the Japanese anime take place in Japan. And obviously in Japan, they are Asians, right? Obviously the Asians aren't all gonna have colorful hair, so that's not really realistic. And one thing that's really nice about that is that it actually takes away from the Asian representation, and so you can just think of them as fake drawings, right? That way you don't really have to think much about it. And to me, that's what makes anime so appealing to me. But then again, there's definitely not enough dark skin representation, because dark skin is just too, I guess it's too obvious of, you know, it's too obvious of a racial kind of like feature, that I guess when artists want to depict Asians, right? But then if they make the skin too dark, you know, it's obviously that this character is black. So, which is why I guess there's just not enough dark-skinned characters in anime. Also, when people argue that the characters are too white, I feel like that really comes down to like a few thousand years of our cultural beauty standard, I guess. Like, this is something that I also struggle with, you know. Growing up, I always was taught and believe, and I'm still a firm believer, that pale is beauty. And I think it's like that really comes down to preference, I guess. Cause like if you really studied Asian culture, you would know that Asians prefer like pale, right? And I don't want to go like too deep into it. Like maybe next month, if you guys really want me to do a deep dive into it, I could. But like, just know that in Asian culture for thousands of years, our beauty standard has always been pale is beauty, right? So when it really comes down to like personal preference and artistic preference, when we think of a beautiful character, when we were designing a beautiful character, I feel like subconsciously we would make them really pale. So that's also something I struggle with, because, you know, as you guys can see, Kamiko, she's really pale. And Kamiko, I guess she's not an accurate depiction of myself, but she's more like someone that I want to portray, that I kind of like project myself onto. And so obviously I would try to make her beautiful, subjectively to me, that is like what I think is beautiful. And beauty is honestly very, very subjective. So I guess when people made Genshin, and if you guys don't know, Genshin is actually a Chinese game. So when artists drew the characters in Genshin, I, as you know, a Chinese artist and someone who's lived in China and been with a lot of people in China before, I can understand that they would use pale colors for the skin base, mainly because that to them pale is like the beauty standard, right? And even though it's not very accurate of the Chinese skin color, it is what it is. You know, you can't help what you find beautiful, right? So that's kind of the reasoning behind why a lot of like this Asian depicted characters are very, very pale in both like Genshin and anime and all of that. It just really comes down to artistic preferences. And so when fan artists like choose to make them tanner, darker, I feel like that's also just an artistic preference, and it's okay, because here in America we think that tan is pretty. We like the skin to be tanner, and that is great. Honestly, like, you know, you can't help what you find beautiful, right? And when they say like Shell's always outside, so he should be tan, like realistically speaking, yes, he should be, you know, but he's he's like a game character. He's 2D. Like, no matter how much he tans in the game, he's not gonna get pale. At least he's not gonna get tan like in the game, right? Because he's not actually under UV. So, but like making him tanner makes sense, right? And even if you made him like super dark, like this kind of dark, and told me that it's because he was in the rice paddy all day, I would buy it. Like, I'm sold. Because have you seen Chinese farmers? They are so, when I tell you they're dark, they are so freaking dark. Like, it's actually kind of concerning because they're really prone to getting skin cancer. But that's just because they work outside in the sun all day. Like, there are really, really, really dark Chinese people and Japanese people and Koreans and like Southeast Asians. Southeast Asians are predominantly darker than East Asians because, you know, in the South they get more sun, right? So yeah, like, honestly, I just don't see how this is an argument. Like drawing artists, like, these are like, art and beauty is so subjective. Like, why would people get so offended when people choose to make a character like darker? Like, unless this person like specifically said, I'm going to make Xiao white, I'm gonna make him Irish, you're not erasing his Asian heritage, right? Like, even honestly, that's just a whole different argument. But even if someone said I wanted to make an Irish version of Xiao, I'd be like, okay, go for it. You know, he's just pixels anyway. Like, who the fuck cares? Right? If you want to make him African, go ahead. He's just pixels. Right? I don't freaking care. But that's just me, right? I can't speak for every other Asian out there, you know. It's just like, yeah, people get so offended over pixels. I don't know why. you know? They're not even real, they're just a concept. These arguments, like, this is why I both love and hate TikTok. Like, I love TikTok because, like, I see so much inspiring content, you know? There's so many great content creators out there who draw amazing art. And then there are those, like, you know, anime Karens or, like, gamer Karens who just, like, get offended over the most trivial things. Like, why? Literally, why? It annoys the fuck out of me. So yeah, that's just something I really wanted to share with you guys because, you know, it has been bugging me all day long. And I just needed to get that off my chest. Because in the end, art is all about your personal preference. And you shouldn't get offended over what someone else finds beautiful because beauty is subjective. And I feel like people in general just need to learn how to not give a fuck, right? Mind their own damn business, right? Just repeat after me. I will mind my own damn business and scroll away when I see something that I don't like. If everyone could just like repeat that every day, like 3 times, when they wake up in the morning, like, this world would be such a better place. Oh, but why can't people be like me and just scroll away when you see something that you don't like? Why do people have to bitch about things, right? God, people. Don't be like them. Be cool. Don't care about things, okay? Don't get so sensitive, okay? Because if you're too sensitive, you won't be happy. Just be zen. Be zen. Life is all about not giving 2 fucks. Right? You have to give a fuck, right? Or else, you know, there's just like no point. But like, don't give 2 fucks. Okay? Alright. So yeah, that's that. That was just like my little rant about I guess some things. And then there are some other things, I guess, that I could talk about. Oh yeah, recently I discovered an artist, and I'm like obsessed with his art style. His I don't know if you guys know Seilo art. That's spelled S-E-I-L-O art. He draws amazing fan art, and I'm obsessed with his art style. He just like he doesn't use line art for the hair, and the way he draws hair is just honestly gorgeous, and his skin, the way he colors skin, oh my god, perfection. And it's just so inspiring. And I feel like recently my art does change a lot. I don't have like a set art style, and I'm always exploring, right? Recently I've been just like trying to mimic the way he draws hair, and it is it's just like, it's so fun. Yeah, I just like, I've always wanted to try the art style where you don't use line art, and I'm, you know, because it looks so good, but it's so hard. It's so freaking hard to not draw with line art. And, you know, it's just like, I'm just like practicing, exploring, trying to find out what works for me. I'm really lazy, so like, and drawing without line art is just so much work, because it's like so much more thinking, right? If you drew like anime, like not manga style, but like anime style, where like all the colors are flat, even the shades, like they're like, you know, they have really straight line and flat on there. There's no blending. That would be so easy, but like that's not really the style that I'm going for. You know, I like the ones where the color blends out, and then they're like, it's so hard to decide. It is so hard to decide on an art style, which is why I don't have an art style. I always get inspired by something, and then I want to try it out, and never stop learning. This is why I don't really consider myself an artist in the first place, like, because like when I think of artists, I think of someone who has like their own art style, and you know, like, they're creators. For me, I'm more like a copier. Right? I'm always like taking a little bit of this from this person, taking a little bit of that from that person. I'm just like not done. I'm never done. It's just like I'm just like always trying to like learn more, take more. So yeah, that is that. Is there anything else that you guys want to know about? I guess oh, let me tell you guys something really cute about Kaka, my dog. If you guys, for those of you who don't know, I got Kaka in 2017. She was 2. So we actually got her from her first owner, or I guess, well, barely counts as second, actually, because her first owner was the violin teacher of one of my friends, which is who I got Kaka from. He had to move back to China or something like that because he got married, and then he couldn't bring Kaka, the dog, and so he gave her to his violin student, which is my friend. But my friend had a cat, and so she couldn't keep the dog, and we really wanted a Shiba Inu, so they knew that, you know, my mom keeps on posting on her social media, like, I want a Shiba Inu, and then they know, and so they asked my mom if we want Kaka, and so we took Kaka home. Recently, I learned that Kaka's real name is not Kaka. Her first owner, like, Kaka is like her nickname, I guess, that the first owner called. Like, honestly, I don't understand why you would give a dog a nickname, because like if you call them something, they will only answer to that. Like, her real name is Pika. I had no idea until recently that her real name was Pika, and then her nickname was Kaka. I always thought that Kaka was such a weird name. Like, even for like Chinese, like, it's like such a weird character, right? Like, our first dog was named Dodo. He passed away, by the way, when I was in college. Dodo is like such a common name that you would give like to both children and pets in Chinese, because it means like beans. Like, cause we thought his eyes were like so beady, like little black beans, like, so we named him Dodo. So, which is really common. And Cotton Candy, our cat, we actually don't call her that. We call her Tang Tang, which is Chinese for candy. Her name is Candy. And yeah, it's just like, these names make sense, and I always thought Kaka was a weird name, and then recently I learned that her name is actually Pika, and I'm like triggered by it, I guess, a little. I was like, why? But her legal name is Kaka now, like, on our paperwork. Ever since we got her, like, we changed all her legal name to Kaka, because we didn't know, like, so like when we took her to the vet, you know, when we put the names, it's just Kaka. So yeah, that's funny. And something funny about Kaka is she is so smart. Like, Shiba Inus are really smart, and recently she learned how to lie. She's a freaking actress. Oh my god. Like, so when we take her on walks, there's usually 2 routes. One route you have to cross the street like very early on, and the one route you have to just keep going down the same sidewalk. And she doesn't like to go on the same route 2 days in a row, right? But if you like try to drag her on the route that you don't want to go on, she will pretend like one of her leg is hurt. Like, one day she'll just pretend like her front leg is hurt, and she'll stop walking, and then you'll be like, oh no, are you okay? Like, and then she'll start pulling you to the other route, like trying to get you to cross the street with her, and they'll be like, fine. And then once she's across the street, her legs are magically somehow cured, like somehow she's fine now. Oh my god. How does a dog learn to lie like that? Like, it's just bizarre. She's so freaking smart. She's honestly so cute. I love her. Yeah, so that's something funny about my dog. I wonder if you guys have pets. Like, let me know in the comments if you guys have like any pets, because pets are honestly amazing. Like, why have children when you have pets? Yep. I guess that's it for me this month. Let me know what you guys want to hear from me for next month, like any topic ideas. Like this month I talked about, you know, artist problems, I guess. Next month I could talk about something else, you know. If you guys want to learn more about, I guess, oh, actually, do you guys want me to like give you backgrounds about like Genshin characters, I guess? Cuz like today, cuz like every time like I'm online, when I see people talking about Genshin characters, especially like the Chinese named ones, you know, they don't really pronounce it with like the Chinese pronunciation, which obviously don't blame them because a lot of Chinese pronunciation are very difficult. But when people pronounce Xiao's name, they say Xiao, and without like the intonation, like I have no idea which character. And so today I looked it up, and then I found something really cool, like what Xiao the character is named after, and he's actually named after one of the Chinese mythical demons, like a mountain demon, which is really, really cool because this character, like the word Xiao, is so difficult and not a lot of people know this character. And I guess like it was really interesting to me that because like this character is so attractive, it was so difficult for me to think that this character was actually named after one of the 8 demons, I guess. And that just got me really curious about like the Genshin characters. I wanted to like know more about what they're named after, and then I could, I guess, do an introduction, I guess, about like these kind of things. Like I could tell you guys more about things like Xiao and what the original monster demon is, and give you guys more background to that because it's actually honestly really cool, and I'd like to learn more about that. So do you guys want to see me play Genshin? Should I start? Like if I play Genshin, should I play it on like the mobile phone or on my computer? Because I have no idea. I don't play Genshin. I can ask my brother honestly, but like, do you guys want to see me play Genshin? Let me know, because I would, you know, I'm actually curious now, so I would play. Alright, so thanks for watching, and you know, let me know in the comments, and I hope you guys have a good day, and please submit more headcanon situations. I love reading them, though they were so good this month. Keep them coming, and I hope you guys are doing good. You know, don't get sick like me. Stay dressed, or like, you know, dress warm in case it gets cold. Stay hydrated, sleep well, don't stay up late, or else you'll go bald. Yeah. So, see you guys. Stay safe and stay simping. Bye bye.